Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Hubler Auto Group Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Thomas Crow, and I am back from wakeboarding in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a beautiful place. It was an awesome opportunity, but now I'm happy to be back. I am with my co-host, Brian Powers.
Thank you. Looking tan, welcome back, man. Definitely.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, that's good. We have with us today, last week we had Lily and Lacey on, and just continuing in the girls cross country mode because they made it to the state finals. Woo! So we have with us here a repeat guest. We have with us girls cross country and track coach, Ray Lane. Ray.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, how's it going? So congratulations on making it to the state meet in the semi-state that is awful. Just give us a little preview or review of Saturday.
Yeah, well, again, going back to your conversation with Lily on Friday, we knew we were going to be somewhere between 4th and 12th. This is an odd year for the semi-state. Like you said, it's usually awful, and you have to be pretty special to make it out. And this year, there just happened to be a big group of teams that were all pretty much the same, just from different cities. Mm-hmm. And we were kind of in that mix, and so we just kind of showed up, had a really good effort. Our top three came through in the top 45, which has been about what we thought we needed to do to have a chance. Then Sydney Clements and Sydney Woodward kind of came through and closed the door, and we were able to get sixth place by about 17 points or so over Westfield and Center Grove, and just missed fifth by 2 points. Right. So it was nerve-wracking, but it was an exciting day when they have that sixth place Franklin community, probably the best feeling I've had as a coach. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so throughout the entire year so far, it's been back and forth with Center Grove. Mostly they've gotten your number so far. Even in the race before the semi-state, they get your number. But, like you said, you beat out Center Grove by 17 points. How is it different beating a team? You said you beat Westfield by 17. Mm-hmm. Westfield's not necessarily a rival. Mm-hmm. How does it feel having a victory over Center Grove as opposed to a non-rival?
Well, Westfield, in the history of Indiana cross country, is a really strong girls program. They're a traditional state power. They've been to the state finals tons of times, won it a handful of times. So it's kind of, when you finish in front of Westfield, you feel good about it because they got some history, and you matched up with them, and in this case we were able to come out in front. With Center Grove, they really helped us, I think, over the course of the season. We beat them a couple times early in the year, the second or third meet of the year we beat them, and then at another meet later on before the county, we beat them. And really, they're a bad matchup for us in small meets. So when you have 70 to 80 people, at the sectional and at the regional, the way that they run and where they finish, it's tough for us to match them. But when you get to the larger meets like we had with the semi-state, when there's more people than having Lauren finish as low as she did and close to the top, there was a bigger gap between their first and our first, which is more points, which is kind of our advantage. And then we matched up pretty close with them behind that. So again, I think being able to race them and have that intensity at the county meet, have the intensity at the sectional, we knew we had to be really good to beat them. And so again, we won the sectional for the first time since 2000, which was nice. And then, like you said, they came back and got us, and we actually got third at the regional. But then, like I said, our focus all year long had been October 24th. We were talking about that date since August. That was kind of when we needed to be our best. And we even, we were honest and talking with the team throughout the year, we knew that Center Grove was going to be a tough matchup with us. So I'm not going to say it didn't feel nice to get the last win, but I think, again, the fact that they beat us early on wasn't a surprise, and so we were mentally ready. It's not like we were depressed or anything after it happened. We just it happened this week. Okay, let's get ready for the next week.
That's what we call in cross-country world a low stick, correct?
That is true.
That's right, a little cross-country lesson for you. Okay, so we've got, you're there Saturday. You don't know if you've advanced, correct?
Correct.
So what was those probably, hour or so, because the girls race first.
Yeah, this year
boys,
the schedule is a little bit different because of the coronavirus and everything. Like they did basically all the girls first, so they raced and then they did the rewards right after.
Okay.
So it was a little bit shorter, but it was still a solid 30, 35 minutes.
So what's the emotion like for you? What's the emotion like for a team when you hear, and really it probably would have been 7th place Center Grove. That's probably when you would have realized it.
Well, they did it kind of weird. Like they only announced the top 6 at the awards ceremony. I know. And if we're being honest, like in my head, I kind of rationalized that we were probably 6th to 8th, and realistically, I thought probably 7th or 8th.
Because in looking at the results, it looked like the 6th or the 5th runner for them, they came in way early.
Yeah.
Or about 20 spots earlier than your 5th, but it was that, like we talked about, the low 6, where you've got a 7th place and then a 20th place is going to eventually be better than 15th and 16th.
Yeah, and another kind of untold story that was easy to overlook was actually Sydney Clements, our 4th runner on Saturday, had a really big day. Ended up in front of a couple Center Grove girls at the very end that had beat her the last couple weeks. And so, yeah, like I said, we matched up with them really well. But like I said, in my head, I was like, I just didn't think it was enough. And I knew it wasn't going to be because we didn't run well, because I felt like we raced well, we raced hard. I just didn't feel like we quite had enough. So we're sitting at the awards, and they start with 6th place. So he's kind of standing off to the side, kind of take a deep breath and go, all right, here we go. And then they said the team score, and it started with a 200. And usually 200 doesn't get you out. Usually you have to be like in the 160 or so range. And so when they said 200 and whatever, your instant thought is, wait, this might happen. And so I just kind of held my breath for a second. They said 6th place, Franklin Community, and then everything else is kind of a blur after that. it was celebration time, party time, and people were asking me right after, well, who else got out? I was like, I have no idea, because I didn't hear anything. I did not hear anything after 6th place. So and it did not matter. So yeah, it was a moment you won't forget for a long time.
Yeah, this year, just tons of accolades. Lauren Klim breaks a school record, as you said, a sectional championship, first time ever making it out of the semi-state to the state. A good chance of a coach of the year for the mid-state for you. Where does this season rank just in your complete coaching realm for you?
It'll definitely be, at least so far, I would preface that by saying so far, this will be the best team that we've had. Again, just with times, with results. Lauren was also the highest finisher that we've ever had for a girl at the semi-state. We had a runner come in 8th back in 2007, I think. She finished 7th at the semi-state, so that was another cool accomplishment to have. But yeah, like so far, at least, again, as a coach, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but so far this is the best team we've ever had. And so the fact that we felt that way kind of all season, that this was the best team we ever had, and so to kind of be able to put the state finalist badge on this group, it's well deserved, because they just worked their butts off from June through all the COVID stuff, through all the hoops we've had to jump through, to not having fans at some of our meets, to only being able to race like a handful of people at certain meets. Like, to have to go through all that and still come out on the other side with this first time in school history accomplishment. Again, it's something they should be very proud. They are very proud of it. They should be very proud of it. And again, I think they've done our school proud.
How's this week of practice looking? Like, when you're leading up to a state meet, what do you do practice-wise that's different maybe than a normal week, or do you just treat it business as usual?
Yeah, it's really, we try to stay pretty status quo. Again, we knew last week we had to be really good in order to have a shot to make it out. So we adjusted a few things, made it a little bit lighter on the mileage side. Again, at this point, you're not going to do anything that's going to make you race faster. So like going out and doing a really hard, big workout, it's not going to make you run faster on Saturday. So it's more just about getting fresh, fine tuning. And so we're really following a similar schedule that we did last week, and just it worked well. So we're just gonna kind of do that on repeat. The girls feel good about it, and you just got to get to the line feeling like you're good to go. And if you get to that's half the battle at this point. Everybody's good, like everybody's running fast. So it's just mentally getting that confidence, and when you step up on the line, you're ready to go.
Right. So 5 minutes for race time coming up on Saturday. What is just going to be the last little tidbit of messaging you say to your runners before they step into probably the biggest race of their lives so far?
Yeah, I'm pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. Like we do a lot of our talking on Thursday. Like we talk a lot about Thursday of we sit down and say, okay, here guys, here's what we need to do. If I think here, I kind of laid out, here's where I think we can finish. In order to do that, here's what we need to do. And so on Saturday before we go to the start line, really it's just, okay guys, it's just executing what you already know. The thing that's kind of changed this year is usually every team goes to the line about 10 or 15 minutes before the race. It's a big scene, like teams are doing cheers, and with the COVID stuff this year, they've stopped doing that. You don't do any of that anymore. And so like the thing I've told people is there's nothing I can't say at the tent nothing I can say at the start line that can't be said back at the tent, because like we don't need the big rah-rah cheer. It's, again, we know what we have to do. Like they've been training since June. Like we're ready. Just go race like Franklin's been racing all season long, and everything will be fine.
Okay, Coach. Well, before the state meet on Saturday, you just got any more words for us on the show?
No, again, just thanks for having me on again. And again, I hope to see a lot of people out in Terre Haute on Saturday. And if not, then hopefully catch it online.
Yeah, first state finals appearance for the girls cross country team ever, which is a pretty huge feat to have. So going into Saturday, we wish you the best of luck, Coach.
Thanks.
For our cross country coach, Ray Lane, for my partner, Mr. Brian Powers, I'm Thomas Crow. This is the Coach's Corner.
Hubler is proud to be the official sponsor of Franklin Athletics. Score massive savings on all your favorite brands. Plus, get our 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty included. For all auto needs, just click drivehubler.com. Let's go, Grizzly Cubs!